Okay, let's talk about something we all use literally every few seconds without even thinking about it. They're kind of like the hidden engines of our language. In Telugu, these small but super powerful words act like invisible gears, making everything we say just flow. Today, we're going to take a closer look at how they work. Seriously, just try to imagine it for a second. What if you were telling a story about your friends, but you had to use their full names every single time? It would get so clunky and confusing, right? It'd be a total mess. Check this out. It's a perfect example. On the left, it's just repetitive. But on the right, we just swap out that second Ramadhu for Athanu, which means he. And boom, instantly the whole thing is smoother. That one little word is the elegant solution we're talking about today.
And that little magic word, of course, has a name. It's a sarvanamamu, or as we say in English, a pronoun. Its entire job, its whole purpose, is to stand in for a noun, a nama wacham, to save us from sounding like a broken record.
All right, so let's start with the absolute basics. The pronouns that handle the who and the what in our daily conversations. You could say these are the real workhorses of the pronoun family. What I find really fascinating is just how logical this is in Telugu. It's all organized so neatly. You've got the person speaking, that's the first person, I and we. Then you have the person you're talking to, the second person, you, and finally, you've got whoever or whatever you're talking about, the third person, he, she, it, they. It's such a simple and powerful system.
Next up, we've got the pronouns that are basically like pointing with your words. You know, words like ithi for this and athi for that. They are so incredibly useful for just cutting through the confusion and saying, no, that's the one I'm talking about. They literally demonstrate what you mean.
But, you know, pronouns do way more than just point and identify. They're also absolutely essential for asking questions and for weaving our ideas together to build bigger, more complex sentences.
And here they are, our investigative tools. These are the words that turn any statement into a quest for more information. Words like who, what, and why are basically the engines of curiosity in our language. They let us go out and learn things.
Now, this is a fantastic example of what we call a relative pronoun. See how everdo kind of sets up a condition? And then wadu comes in and completes it. The two pronouns are working as a team, linking the action to the person. It's such a slick way to form a complete thought.
Okay, for our last section, let's look at a group of pronouns that help us talk about amounts. Because, you know, sometimes we need to be really specific, and other times being a little vague is perfectly fine. There's a pronoun for every situation. So Telugu makes this really subtle but super important distinction here. On the one hand, you have the simple numeral pronouns. They're just a straight-up count, like okaru for one person. Easy. But on the other hand, you have countable pronouns. In that example, varu muguru vide, the pronoun is talking about a specific group of three. It's not just any three, it's those three. It's about a defined group, not just a random number. But hey, what about when you don't need to be that precise? Well, that's where these indefinite pronouns are your best friend. Words like unni for all or koni for some give us the freedom to talk about general amounts without getting stuck on the exact details. This right here is a really clever bit of linguistic efficiency. The word andaru, or all, is doing two jobs at once. It's a pronoun standing in for the group of people, but it's also acting like an adjective describing the size of that group. Talk about a great two-for-one deal. So there you have it. From identifying people to asking questions and talking about quantities, we've basically seen a whole system of pronouns, a complete toolkit, where each one has a very specific and very important job to do.
When you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? It's that pronouns are pretty much the ultimate power tools of grammar. They replace, identify, connect, and count. These little words we barely notice are exactly what give our language its elegance and its precision.
So I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. Now that you know what all these different types are, just listen to yourself talk today. Which pronouns do you think you use the most? Pay attention, because the answer might actually surprise you.